Hello, everybody. You're all very welcome to our seminar here for Project Groundswell, which, as you know, is a uh, open call competition supported by the European Union and run between ourselves, Photo Museum Ireland, Photohof in Salzburg, Cortona on the Move in Italy, and Il Mago Lisboa in Lisbon. It's a great pleasure to introduce Herman Seidl to this afternoon's seminar. Herman studied communication science and romance studies at Salzburg University, as well as artistic photography at Salzburg College, where he enrolled at the photography and studio art program with Derek Bennett, Dieter Appelt, Thomas Joshua Cooper, and Joan Foncuberta. He joined the Photohof Collective, which is in Salzburg, in 1983, 2 years after its foundation. And since then, Herman has contributed to the success of Photohof, which is now one of the leading institutions for photography in Austria, if not, in my opinion, in the world. Apart from that, Herman is a freelance photographer whose activity includes applied and artistic works. He lived and worked on photo projects in France, in Germany, in Italy, in the States, and he's the author of numerous books which have been published by German and Austrian publishing houses. He's here today in what is a core element of Photohof's impressive operations, and this is their specialized library, which contains no less than 17,000 books. So it's an absolute mecca for anyone interested in photo books. In 1991, Photohof also started book publishing themselves. And since then, they have brought out 400 photo books. They regularly see them as part of, as an independent publisher in photo festivals in Berlin and Kassel in Leipzig, in Polycopy, in Foam, and in Vienna. So today, Herman is going to give us an introduction to the culture of the photo book, with a special introduction in sustainable photo book publishing. Over to you, Herman.
Hello to everybody from Salzburg and from our, like Tanya said, impressive library. I do have a personal photography library, but this is our library is just the best, and it's always fun to be here, and you always discover a new photo project when you scroll through the books. This webinar is part of our project Groundswell, and today I want to give you a little insight into the culture of the photo book, the history of the photo book, but especially how to respond, how to work with photo books in the era of climate change, and how to produce sustainable photo books. But let me thank you first to Sylvia and Cortona for handling all the social media exposure, Martin and Sebastian here in Salzburg for the technical assistance, and of course to the whole team in Dublin, to Tanya and Darren. Photobook has been publishing books since 30 years, and like to transition from analog to digital photography. Also, book publishing has changed a lot in those three past decades. Yeah, I want to switch over now to the. I prepared a PDF for you guys that you can download afterwards, and it's available on the project site, on the project Groundswell site, and yeah. Sebastian will switch over so you can see that what I prepared for our webinar. The future of photobook publishing is sustainable, but to have it and to get to this sustainability, you have to know the materials, the processes, and alternatives, and all those information that you have to get now is a professional skill. And I will talk about that a little bit later. But first, a little introduction why the photo book is such an important medium. Martin Parr and Gary Badger probably devoted most of their time to this interesting video, and they also provided us with a great definition. And according to them, the photo book has a particular subject and a specific theme. And their primary criterion for photo books is that it should be an extended essay in photographs, and that it follows its theme with intention, logic, continuity, climax, sense, and perfection. So this definition says it all, and it also you can see that producing a photo book or having a photo book is a very complicated issue, because so many different things are involved with it. If this definition said it already. A photo book is a book where photographs are the primary medium of expression. But unlike a simple collection of images, a nice photo book is carefully curated and designed with intention so that it transfers a narrative and evokes emotions. The size, the format of the book, the sequence of the images, the cover, the layout, the typography, the paper choice, the binding style, all this contributes to the story that photographers want to convey to us. Photo books allow photographers to control the rhythm and the flow of the work, which is much easier than in a gallery, in a space, in an art space, where you are limited to the space. With the photo book, you can create the space yourself. Turning the pages can become a cinematic or poetic, even poetic experience. Some stories are linear, some others are more abstract or open-ended. Great photographs are considered art objects in their own right. And therefore, also in the past years, we see the phenomenon of the photo book collection. Especially in the last century, the photo book has become a vital format to express visions independently without needing galleries or a traditional media. The major advantage of the photo book is a very simple one. It's a permanent and lasting exhibition that can easily be distributed. Just think, when you have a photography show, it lasts maybe 3 weeks, a month, 6 weeks, but then it's over. But when you produce a photo book, it's a lasting exhibition that you can distribute all over the world, all the time, anytime, and it will survive you. which most of the exhibitions don't. And owning a photo book is like owning a portable exhibition. So this is the key element why photo books have such a huge or had such a huge impact in the past. The interesting stuff, if you go back in history, is that the first photo books are pretty old, almost 200 years old, almost as old as photography, and they were very produced, very sustainable already. Anna Atkins produced the first photo book of the world in 1841. The British algae of cyanotype impressions. Based on a nomenclature of William Henry Harvey's Manual of the British Algae from 1841, she published her blueprints in the illustrated book, The British Algae. Cyanotype impressions, which was the first to show images created with this photographic technique. She added 12 more parts between 1843 and 1853. And during this time, 389 titled cyanotype photograms with additional pages were created, and a total of 12 books were produced. And one of these books is visible in the National Media Museum in Bradford in England. When you see a link, a sign at the end of the text, that means that after the whole PDF, you will find a link to this project. The first multiple edition photo book was produced from 1844 to 1846 by William Henry Fox Talbot with the title The Pencil of Nature. The Briton had developed a paper-based negative positive process, as we know, and thus brought the photographic image to the age of technical reproducibility. With this work and 24 calotypes glued in by hand, Talbot wanted to demonstrate the various possible applications of the new medium, and photography in those times was very new to the world. Talbot and his publishers brought out the volume, which is considered to be the first photo book in a multiple edition and in various deliveries. Unfortunately, it was not a great success. The first delivery was purchased by 274 buyers, and the last one only by 75. It's estimated that 400 to 500 copies were produced, and today about 40 of those copies still exist. In 2011, a publisher from Munich, Herman Verlag, made a reprint, but when you follow the link, you can download the book also on Project Gutenberg. When it comes, the interesting thing is that when it comes to the photo books have been produced and now we make a huge jump into the 20th century. All of a sudden, the photo book became so interesting that people like Andrew Roth started to publish a book about photo books. And this is the first book about photo books, was created in 2001, the book of 101 books. This became quickly a very important reference to photography and photo books. It's the first critical tool in defining and neglected component of photographic history and influencing a burgeoning new market of book collectors. collectors. It features essays by really important and famous people and critics, photographers, and photo artists. And it's a fantastic book. I will switch. Or Sebastian will switch to a different camera. I prepared the book from our library, and I will go through some of the pages with you now. As you can see, every book has more or less 2 double pages, and wrote and without it's a very subjective collection that he applied to it, but most of those books are total classics that combine the crème de la crème of the first photo books, or the photo books produced in the 20th century. And you find traditional photographers, you find books by artists like Ed Roger, or this famous book by Larry Clark, Tulsa, Denis Leon, or Richard Prince. So it's not just basically just photographers that also artists that produced books with images can be seen in there. And if you ever get a copy of it, try to get a copy. It's still on the market. It's a fantastic book that says a lot about the culture and why the photo book is so famous. And then we have those 3 volumes by Martin Barr and Gary Badger that I cited already. These 3 publications tell us a much more complete story of photography and a different history of the photo book, revealing the way how photographers have influenced each others through the books, and consequently how their use of photography has developed over time. These 3 books helped codify and illustrate what are some of true classic photography books. And both of them talk about it in a YouTube video that you can find in the link on the end of this document. A photo book can be really different. I went through our library and looked for the biggest, the heaviest, and the smallest publications that we have in our library. And guess the biggest is this huge 16.5 kilogram book by Helmut Newton that his publisher Taschen in Germany, in Cologne, produced at the beginning of 2000, as well as from the same publisher, a huge book of Nobuyoshi Araki with 12.5 kilograms. But then other fine publications like Terry Weifenbach or Imon Dois or Ricardo Cassés or Miss Oesabal, or our young Austrian photographers Punctum, which has 120 pages and weighs only 44 grams. or another small publication from China that weighs only 30 grams. And this is the most smallest photo book this is available in our library. So you see photo books come in all sizes and all different issues, and it's very difficult to say this is the best size. So every book, this is part of the book characteristics. Recent developments in the world of the photo book is that with digital printing, now we have self and independent publishing. Many artists now don't bother contacting a professional publishing house, but they publish their own signs and or limited edition runs or handmade books. And you can feel that there is a strong subculture around collecting and trading as well. Photo books can be used now as archive or as a protest to something. Some examples are Latoya Ruby Fraser's work on post-industrial communities in the United States, or Susan Meisler's documentation of the conflicts in Central America. There is a vibrant community around photo books with dedicated art fairs like the New York Art Fair, the Tokyo Art Fair, off-print and polycopies in Paris, or other photo book awards that are being held in various countries. For instance, there's the German Photo Book Award, or there's the Aperture Photo Book Award at Paris Photo. But so now we have, I have to, time passes on really quickly. So I want to get to what is sustainable photo book publishing. Traditional publishing can be incredibly wasteful. Paper production and long-range shipping generates tons of emissions. For instance, when I published my first book with a German publisher in the 90s, really everybody discussed printing it in China, in the Far East, and then shipping it to Europe. And this was not a very sustainable way of doing it. Luckily, already then, some people were convinced that a local production with a little bit more costs is much better than a production that you cannot control. And also when you publish a book, you want to be there at the print house. You want to be there looking at the prints that come out of the machine. You want to control them. You want to correct them. And all this is very difficult if you rely on a book production in a different continent. Toxic inks and plastic coatings that are not recyclable were used to produce books, and the print run was very often way too high. So most of the publishers had just too many books that they had to give away, or they had to destroy after some years. And sustainable book publishing is all about reducing this negative environmental impact for creating and distributing books, while promoting ethical and responsible practices all the way through the supply chain. So I defined, when I did the research in the past years, how we can have a more sustainable photo book publishing, I found 4 key aspects. The first one is to embrace eco-friendly materials for the book production. So when you have an intent to publish a book, you should first look at the paper, and you should look for FSC certified paper. FSC stands for Forest Stewardship Council, and it's an international certification system for more sustainable forest management. The wood used for furniture, toys, books, pencils with the FSC seal comes from forests that are managed more responsibly. Then another eco-friendly material is to get away from oil-based inks to soy and vegetable-based inks. So interestingly, without a big push from governments, the industry itself has introduced a lot of those vegetable-based inks, and a lot of them are working with their huge Heidelberg printing machines and get almost the same great result than with other inks before. And another aspect is biodegradable or recyclable covers. The use of that, like linen. Linen is produced nowadays in a very responsible way. And another thing that should be avoided is plastic lamination, that this rounds up this first point. And you find links to these discussions in the end of the PDF. The second aspect of sustainable book publishing is to have sustainable printing practices. You should focus on smaller book formats. For instance, you can produce a small book, but with huge images if they run through the middle of the book. You should use digital printing to reduce waste. Digital printing is fantastic for good runs. Nowadays, we at Photohof, sometimes we produce only 100 books, and when they're sold, then we produce the next 100 books. So this is a very practical method of limiting also the storage of unsold books. A print run of 200 to 300 copies is the most plausible nowadays for most of the artists. There's this great story Gary Badger tells from John Sarkovsky, how Sarkovsky, when he took over the Museum of Modern Art, that he tried to have bigger print runs with photographers and to keep the costs down by various methods. But still, after all, no more than 300 to 400 copies of exhibition book was sold. And this still today, for certain photo projects, this is still true today. As I mentioned before, on-demand printing avoids overproduction and unsold inventory. And of course, choosing a local printer is the key element to cut down transport and shipping emissions. So when I produced my last two books, they were all in range they were produced between 300 and 400 kilometers from me and the publishing house. And this was a very responsible measure by the publishing house. The third aspect is to have efficient distribution. Reducing overstock and returns is a big issue in traditional publishing. There are huge warehouses full of books that have never been sold and end up for recycling. Another aspect is to use special papers and cardboard that make the book light and keeps the shipping cost low. I conducted a nice workshop with Vincent van Baar, who teaches in Den Haag at the university, who teaches bookmaking. The first thing Vincent van Baar mentioned in his workshops was go and see how much the postage is for the book if you want to send it to somebody. And that's a very interesting aspect that he teaches his students. But of course, it's clear, the lighter the book, the smaller the form factor, the less the postage is if you want to send it to somebody and sell it. Then shipping with minimal and recyclable packaging would be another factor. Climate neutral shipping, DHL offers a service that is called Go Green, and there are other similar services popping up. The fourth aspect of sustainable book publishing is to look for carbon offsetting and green certifications. So when you contact companies, look for the FSC logo or the PFFC logo, which is a program for endorsement or forest certification scheme. Other initiatives are the Green Press initiatives or Climate Partner. Summing up all those four aspects, I come to a very easy solution. A sustainable photo book today should have a small and medium format. It should be lightweight. It should produced with your digital files stored locally in a NAS and not in a cloud. To produce it, you should choose a light FSC certified paper. You should calculate together with your printing facility the best paper format so that you have a minimal waste when you're producing the book. When you want to use linen cover, there are various nice ecological possibilities for a linen cover. It should be printed with plant-based inks and the best binding method, because it's very sustainable, is a stitch binding or no binding. A stitch binding is therefore interesting because if you fold the book, it opens up very easily, very nicely, and you can print a photograph on both pages if it's manufactured really nice. It should be packaged in paper It should be locally produced, very close to where you live. It should be sent by eco-mail, and you can use a commercial or also a personal distribution, which means you travel to those photo festivals and sell your book at this photo book festivals. So you see on the side, you see one book that I think is one of the most beautiful books, and we can take a look at it. Jin Lee produced this fantastic book called The Unnamed Road. See, it has the aspects, the book block, which are folded pages, and the paper is really light, and you see there is no binding, but it's just coarse, and that's why she can go over a double page, and the image remains visible very nicely. Es ist ein bisschen unscharf, aber so. Okay, now the camera is, yeah, the camera has a problem like focusing, but now you can see it. Yes. And the whole thing works also as a leporello. And because you use this lightweight paper, the whole book weighs very little. It's quite a thick book, but still it weighs only about 180 grams, 190 grams. And this to me is, it was published by Mack in October 2014. And this to me is one of the most sustainable photo books that you can find on today. Yep. So there is, I still have a few minutes. So, you know, there is every photo book, and this is maybe more for you to think when you think about a photo book or producing a photo book, that it gives you an idea what the book is about. There, you could say there are three types of photo books. What we saw right now from Junjin Lee is the classic photo book. Then there is the catalog photo book. The catalog photo book is a collection of individual works which are carefully arranged in a sequence, but the pictures make fewer references to each other and function more as individual works. Artists like Thomas, or photographers like Thomas Demand, when they produce books, then you could say this is a catalog book because Thomas Demand works on one image, and then the next image is a total different work of art, but he collects it together in a book. And then there's the photo design, which is also a very sympathetic medium. It's a self-made printed issue of photographs and captions. The term photo design comes from magazine, and signs follow the style of magazines with headings, with text, with illustrations to put on the grid. And the important thing of a photo sign is that it's very well designed for visual storytelling. So those are the three major parts or types of photo books. When it comes to the anatomy, then every book consists out of the book block and the book cover. And they are produced entirely separately, and only in the book binding process they merge together. There are different binding techniques with, as I mentioned stitch binding before, but what you nowadays, to produce a sustainable photo book, what you definitely should avoid is glue in the binding process. So the best for quality is our stitching techniques. But then there are other techniques like spiral binding. And one of my favorite photo books is Paris de Nuit by Brassai, which I would like to show. Paris de Nuit. Where is it? Hmm. No, yeah, here it is. This is a fantastic photo book by Brassai. You see this intensive binding, a soft cover. It's a fantastic, one of the most fantastic photo books that we have in our library. The cover can be rigid or can be flexible, like in this case, and the paper that you use is the most important factor, because you feel it. The whole haptic of a book stand or falls with the paper that you use for the production. If the paper feels nice, if the turning the page feels nice, this is all the responsibility of the paper that you use for it. And nowadays we have two printing processes. We still have offset printing for larger print runs, and nowadays companies, if you produce more than 500 copies, tend to use offset printing, and up to 500 copies, companies use digital printing, which has improved a lot over the years. We produced our first digital printed book in 2011, and our experience that the printing process, the papers, everything has improved a lot over those 14 years now. Okay, so yeah, that's another some other aspects of a photo book. I prepared some photo books that I wanted to go through with you really quickly. It is one of my favorite photo books is Vanitas by Jitka Hanslova. It's a very small, very thin photo book. Produced in 2018 with not a lot of images, only 25 images. Fantastic linen binding. with this small embossing of the typo. Then Gloria Orzabal is a Spanish photographer from a collective of women photographers, and she made this is a handmade book of her. It's called Burka Cas, and it's a Leporello, and it's entirely handmade in a small print run of 100 editions. And this is also a very sustainable produced photo book. Another one, which is more a catalog than a book, is by French artist Raphael de la Porta, who did a project on domestic slavery in Paris and France. And the whole catalog was designed by the Dutch design couple, Kuma and Herman from Utrecht. And they did a great job. And when you go to the link of the publication, you can see that Raphael de la Porta used the whole catalog as an exhibition piece. Okay. Then another fantastic project is Morocco by Daido Moriyama and the Japanese company Superlabo. You see that the book has a nice dust cover, and when you open it up here with nice linen, and when you open it up, you see that there are two books in one, and which is a very, very nice project. A very nice book design, very unusual, and you can follow the link at the end of the document. And I think I'm 5 minutes over time. You can look up the rest of the books yourself on the web. I'd like to thank you for your attention. I hope you got some ideas what it is about book publishing now and sustainable book publishing, where you should pay attention. And I want to hand over to Tanya. She will conduct a little poll among you. And well, thanks for your attention and have a nice day.
Hello. Yes, thank you so much. That's so inspiring to see some of those lovely books and get some great ideas there too. Yes, we do have a poll, and I would really ask if you wouldn't mind, you would very much help us if you would take like 30 seconds, I'd say, to answer it. So I should be coming up for those of you who are on via computer in particular. It will come up on your screen now. Am I right? So I'll give you just a few minutes if you wouldn't mind to fill that out. Meanwhile, I'll also take this opportunity to remind you that the Project Groundswell open call opportunity is open until April the 30th. And I really do think it's a fantastic opportunity for photographers who are working in the sustainability area. So do please share your work with us.